Hello, welcome back to my channel. I'm so glad that you guys are here. I'm just going to finish getting set up and make sure that I am in frame on my craft desk and let everybody go ahead and grab their favorite snack and join us around the craft table. Let's see if I can find myself, because if I can find me, I assume you can find me. So I have a few different spots I can look. And I'm going to see on my phone. Of course, it wants to do an update, so that's going to just take me a minute. I think I found myself. It always takes me a few minutes to get set up, and then you get the whole glory of all of the craft table. So I try to get everything just in frame, but that doesn't always work, does it? So you're getting an honest look at my craft table when you're here with me on live. I still have paper bits up here from last time. You know, it just kind of is what it is. I can try to move a little bit so you're getting more focus on the project while I'm just setting up. Maybe that's a little bit easier. Okay, so let me find myself. And make sure there's no... Okay, I found myself. I liked myself. We are good to go. Welcome, welcome, guys. I'm going to go ahead and put my link tree and introduce myself in the chat, and then we're going to go ahead and get started. I wanted to play today. So today I just kind of want to play. It is the last Sunday in February. And I was going to bring out my book kit that I had purchased from Michael's, that I had done a kind of like a mini haul before. But I figured today it would be fun to kind of see the last Sunday of February off, right? Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play with some faux February things. I was at the thrift store yesterday, consciously. I went there to go drop things off and donate them. But I had to peruse my way through, because this thrift store in particular in my little town has a whole second floor of just crafting items, whether it be yarn, sewing, scrapbooking, fabric, a whole wall of fabric, paper crafts, like everything, stamps. So I had a lot of fun in there yesterday, and I bought a grab bag of fabric that I thought would be a lot of fun for my journaling. I bought some books. I bought a lot. Honestly, some of it was sitting in the sun yesterday, and now it's in the freezer this morning, just because that's how I am. Okay, so what I want to do is I kind of just want to get started today. I grabbed my favorite tea and one of my favorite mugs, and I am going to start the intention of 2026, the rest of the day, the week, everything, with a positive quotation. And it's going to go with my my gratitude jar for 2026 that I've been doing every Sunday. I write one thing I'm grateful for, one good thing that happened to me during the week, and I put it in here. And New Year's Eve, I'm going to open it and see what all of the positive things that happened to me over the year, because we can kind of focus on the negative. So I just want to focus more on the positive. So I do want to talk about friendship a little bit, and the quote that I wanted to use is from St. Thomas Aquinas. I know I'm probably saying that wrong. There is nothing on this earth more to be prized than true friendship. And that rings true because even if we're having a good day and we have a best friend we want to share things with, if we're having a bad day, we have a best friend that we want to share things with, or somebody special to us in our lives. Okay, so that's kind of how I want to start. I want to do my gratitude, which is, today is the 22nd already. For as long as January is, February has really flown by. Okay, so today I'm truly grateful for unconditional friendship, and that's what I'm going to put in here. So that's what I'm grateful for. I had a great visit with my grandson last night. I could have written that, but you know, things come up and you need to like talk and confide in friends, and that is what I did. And I have a friend that I've been friends with my whole entire life because our parents were friends when they were young. So I'm able to share the good, the bad, the ugly, and everything in between with her. And I'm grateful for that. And even though it's a long distance friendship, because she is up in Washington where I grew up, it doesn't matter. So I think that's really important to have that in your life. And I do have bits and pieces from when I was working in here earlier this week. I only have a few things I want to share with you. I purchased these last week. You might think that this is kind of a weird purchase, but I purchased these for $5.99 on Amazon. They just happened to come across junk journaling supplies, and I love these. I think they're so cute, they're fun, and they can be used in a lot of my card making and my junk journaling, and they're different colors. 2 came of each color, but I did gift one, so I just thought that this was fun. Last Sunday was completely a self-care Sunday for me because I was doing the stretch and folds on the live until I brought out the ribbon with the glitter, and then we had to put that away. I did some tea dyeing of my paper, and that took me most of Sunday. This is all I did because I had the sourdough going and I couldn't bake paper and sourdough all at the same time. But I like to tea dye my paper. I do not coffee dye paper. I don't like the smell of coffee. I don't drink coffee, and I think it's harder to clean up, and I just don't like it. So I drink tea, and so I tea dye paper, and I soak this in a solution with like a teaspoon of baking soda, and just put a few pages in at a time. And then I do the baking soda to kind of even out the pH, and so my paper doesn't rip and it becomes a little bit more archival so it won't rub off. So I just soak that with black tea. Good morning, Ellen. I just use black tea, and so normally I will go to the Dollar Tree and buy a bunch of tea and use that only for my tea dye paper. And this is like a cardstock, and so this is a little bit thicker. But this time, and some of it rips, some of it doesn't, and I'm good with that. This time I used a black tea that I drink, and it's, what did I use? P&G, I think, because I like the flavor of that. Yeah, and you can, if you want more of like a grainy effect, you can break open the tea bag and like the grain. It's kind of how like if you're painting and you're doing the whole salt thing for effect. You can do that with the tea as well. So I didn't this time. I have done that before. And then I just bake them in my oven on warm or 200 for about 10 minutes. Or I have a baking rack that I dry them on, and I love the effect it gets. Everything's just a little bit different. So this is what I did last Sunday. I don't have any sourdough going this Sunday. And since my guest checks from Amazon did arrive in this fun envelope, I thought I took my address off, but I guess not. I'm going to make a journal out of this. So I'm saving this in my stash. And then I did complete a coloring page this last week. If you follow me on Instagram and you saw that, I posted that I was having a slow morning, and that was kind of the theme of my week because I was a late supervisor all last week, and so I kind of took the morning for self-care. I was really practicing with my new Ohuhu markers that I purchased at Michael's. And I just played. Like, I wasn't really sure about these markers. I honestly wasn't even really sure about this coloring book and these coloring pages, because I like to do big, cozy coloring because I'm like working on my shading, and I'm kind of switching out my brand of markers right now from Spectrum Tri-Blend to more like Ohuhu, Arteza, different kinds of alcohol markers. And so I just played with this, and the background I did do, like, I was kind of experimenting with that. I probably should have just inked it, but I did some color pencil, Gamsol, baby wipes, and just kind of doodled on it. So I thought that was a lot of fun. I thought it turned out well. I love this little book. It was only $9, I think. Yeah, $9 at Barnes & Noble. And then I put a protective sheet in between. And then I do my sampling up here. And you could tea dye paper like this. Like, if you want to tea dye or coffee dye. I've even done food coloring dye. I know people have done RIT dye before. But I like that it's double-sided, so this would look really good in a journal. But you could tea dye your coloring pages too if you wanted to do that. So I just thought that was something fun. I love going into Barnes & Noble and their coloring book section because there's a lot there and growing all the time. So sometimes on my lunch break, I'll walk over and do that. I didn't show my finished masterboard from a few weeks ago when we were doing masterboards. But this is my finished 12 by 12 masterboard. I have not cut this up. I have not done anything with it, because I don't know if I want to save this for a cover of a journal, because I think that this would be super cute rather than splitting it up into card fronts. I think that this would be super cute for the cover of a journal, and I might use this for the cover of this and just have like a fun journal. I don't know yet. I haven't really decided. So, but there is that. So I'm not ready to cut this up, and I just did this with a calendar sheet. So if you want to see that, that's on my channel. You can go back and watch the rewatch. A little bit of a progress checker is my Lottie Magic Attic 13 Love Letters journal. I am in the process of finishing this, but I have both of my signatures now, and I just need to, because this is going to be my, like, a modified flow journal. This is my version of a flow journal. I like to sew in my signatures because I just do. To me, it's a little bit more secure. And I like having everything kind of together in one spot. But what you can do, what I'm going to do, not today on the live, because I do want to do something else, but just a piece of elastic cording right there that I get at Hobby Lobby. And I'm going to slide these in from the center. I'll find the center and just slide them in and out. You can leave everything loose leaf, and that's how you can like reorganize pages. But I'm making progress on there. And this is a printable that you can find from Tracy at Lottie's Magic Attic. She's on Ko-fi. She has a fun group on Facebook. She's on Etsy. And I'm going to try to make all of this, the 13 Love Letter ephemera, on my cover. So that's just kind of where I'm at. I worked on it quite a bit yesterday in the morning. And I'm just going to leave that there. That's just kind of my project that I'll have finished by the end of the week. The plan was to have it finished by the end of last weekend because it was a long weekend for me, but that didn't happen. So let's get into Faux February. February's almost over. I probably should have been doing this a little bit more diligently, but I ran out of time. And then I started a new class this last week, and I'm just in one class, but I think this class is going to be a little bit demanding because it has to do with California state standards for LPCC rather than just general counseling and mental health, which is what kind of everything has been. So there's that. I have a little bit of homework to do after this. I am on call, so if we hear a mysterious ringing and I'm not jumping up to action, nudge me and let me know. But I do have staff working today, so they're really reliable. So Faux February, I did order these doilies. I think I showed you on one of my previous lives on Amazon, and they're food quality doilies. They're paper. They're really thick though. Like, some of them are thick, some of them are thin, and then they come in bigger sizes as well. So it's not tissue paper thin, It's a little bit thicker than copyweight paper thin, and it's embossed, and it looks like a real doily. And so this is made for like cakes and cupcakes and dessert trays and things like that. They come in a lot of different sizes. I have another size that's bigger than this, but I didn't bring it out because I'm not going to be doing anything with that today. And it just looks like lace and doilies. So for Faux February today, I'm going to be doing some faux doilies. And what really inspired me to do this is my trip to the local thrift store yesterday when I was dropping off and then I had to go in. I saw some real fun vintage doilies, right, that people had donated and that they had acquired. And I was like, those would be really, I wanted to buy a few, so I was like, those would be really good as photo backgrounds. But I was like, wait, I have those doilies that I purchased on Amazon. Like, let's get more, let's work smarter, not harder kind of thing. So I started creating the faux yarn doily with the paper, and I love the way that it turned out. So these are going to go in this journal. I did a little bit over here. I don't remember if I did these on the live or not. Good morning, Christina. Welcome. Thank you, Ellen, for being here as well. I'm glad you guys are both here. And so I just created these in my journal, and I thought that these would be fun. So I wanted to play a little bit more with the whole Faux February thing. And I thought, what perfect kit to do that. So I'm going to set this aside because this is still drying from yesterday. I have a fan going on the side of me, so if you can hear it and it bothers you, let me know. I have it going tilted the other way because I have my supplies, I have my sprays, and I have my splat box. And then we're gonna kind of be creating some of these faux doilies today, and then while they're drying, we'll be creating some backgrounds. So I have this kit from Be Happy Stationery, and she has the Faux February going on in her Facebook group as well. I can link her Ko-fi shop. And I don't know if it's Ko-fi or Coffee or Ko-fi. Not really sure, but this is one of her newer kits. I absolutely love it. It's Once Upon a Time. It's just so cute. There's so much in here that I just picked out a few things to create with. So here's one of the backgrounds. I did not reverse print any of these because I'm not making a journal today. I wanted to make a few card fronts or maybe some tip outs for some journals. I don't know. So I just thought that it would be fun, and I thought that the faux doily would go perfect with this, so I kind of want to play up that color scheme. And here she has a QR code, and it's Be Happy Stationery. So I don't know if you can scan the QR code if you want to. You can probably find her link tree and Facebook and all of that, but I did link her Ko-fi in here. So, but they did she sponsored Junk Journal January, or she was a part of it as well, so I really enjoyed that process, being a part of that. But you can see, like, we have like the faux lace here. So these are some of the things that I just printed out. I really just wanted to make a few cards, I think. And this background is so cute. I love it. It goes with the Once Upon a Time theme, and it's very neutral. Here's the characters from the kit. I just love it. So I know, like, we might end up, like, I don't know, cutting them in half or not. That's kind of not what I want to do. But we'll start out with the faux doilies, or the faux, yeah, doilies first. And then we'll decide. I have some card bases. I have some card bases in the back of me, so I want to play with this. I just thought that these would be perfect little cards. I don't know if I want to make them journal tip outs, but these were kind of my favorite sheets that I saw from the kit that I thought could really make fun cards, is what I wanted to do today. I might even make my craft roulette card on here, so I just have to go look at those parameters and see. And we'll see. We'll see. I'm actually on her design team as well. Welcome, Christina. I'm glad to be on a design team with you. Oh, yeah, the herbology one. Yeah, I saw that kit too. She has a lot of great kits if you guys want to go check on Ko-fi. Okay, so let me get out my supplies. I have my color wheel near me. I don't necessarily know if I'll need my color wheel, but I'm going to bring it down just in case because you never know. And I'm just going to start spraying some of these. And yesterday when I was spraying these other ones, I kind of just kept things like kind of in the same color family type. And because the 13 Love Letters is a little bit gothic, I thought, oh, the splashes of red would really be fun with that one. So I'm going to play off of Sandra's designs though, and her colors that she designed. So she has like a lot of gold in here. Let me see. I try to keep everything kind of neutral. That's mustard seed. This is an orange shimmer spray, which actually might work. The colors, Pure Sunshine. So that might work for the gold. There's Frozen Fog. So we have that. I love. Actually, let's get out the Frozen Fog because what I did yesterday is vintage photo and Frozen Fog, and I loved the way that turned out. And then what else is here? Wild Honey. I've actually not used this one before. I don't think. I mean, I know that oh, maybe I have actually, but it's been a long time. So let's kind of get those out and play up that. We'll play with those. What might be a little bit fun to mix in with those for some splatter though would be some purple, right? I love purple and gold are actually my high school colors because of where I went to high school at. But I actually love those two colors because purple's always been my favorite color. Purple, red, pink, and gold. So I just think it would be fun. We'll leave the purple out because I don't know kind of where I want to go with that. So she has like a little bit of like a purpley here. Anyway. Okay, so let's start there. Let's start with the bigger one because that's going to take a little bit longer to dry. And I can create probably a few of these and set them aside to dry. They will curl a little bit because they are paper, but you know, if that really bothers you, then maybe set something heavy on it before you go put it in your project. It doesn't really bother me as much. It just kind of makes it a little bit more authentic when I'm working with it because I'm putting these in junk journals, maybe on cards. I could slice them in half, quarter them, put them on a card. Who knows? Let's see where the day takes us, right? I have a cord lingering around, so if I'm shaking, I'm sorry. I'm trying to put this cord back. I have a clip for it. There we go. I have a clip for it, and it came out when I was moving. So if you need me to adjust so you could see a little bit better, just let me know. Okay, so what I want to start with is I think I want to do these two because I love shimmer. We have the Mica Stain Frozen Fog, and we have the Delusions shimmer spray, and this is Pure Sunshine. And then I want to pick a purple to kind of throw in here to splatter on it. So I think I'm going to do these. I don't like to get too caught up in the whole color wheel thing, but I do like things to be, I'm not here to make mud. So, you know, that's what I want to do. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put over here orange because Frozen Fog is a neutral color. But no, it doesn't matter what kind of, I got this color wheel at Hobby Lobby. I've noticed Hobby Lobby has the most comprehensive color wheels, to be honest with you. They have a few of them. I've not looked enough at Michael's to see. You could probably, there are free templates out there too for color wheels, and you can print them out. This is easy. This was like $5, and this just fits right above me. And you can get the complimentary, split complimentary, the triad of colors, the tetrad. You can get a lot out of this, and this is really good if you like to do watercolors or anything like that. So I like this one because it moves. It's just easy and it's easy to understand. Yeah, you could get any kind you want. I know a lot of creators provide free templates, but this is just for $5. It was easy. Okay, and crafting, we want to spend more time waffling over what we're creating rather than the tools we need to create, right? So we have orange. We have purple as part of the triad. Split complementary would be blue and blue-green. So I like it. So I think we're all good here, and I'm going to continue to use this because it's the neutral. So that's what we're going to go with. And then if we wanted to do purple, which would be more of a, this is more of the violet because it's a cool color. See, you can tell, I moved it, so I ripped it, but it's fine. And so then this would go obviously with the orange, yellow, green. So that would be fun too if we wanted to get some green in there. Okay. I'm going to start with the base color being the Diana Reevely Delusion Shimmer Spray, which is going to be the Pure Sunshine. So it has this ball bearing in it. I might have sourdough under my fingernails because I did feed her this morning. And I baked with her yesterday. I made croutons from, because I had my son and his family over for dinner. So I just kind of spray here to make sure it's spraying evenly. I used to be real precious with this box. I used to put paper towels down, paper. I don't know why, but sometimes I even use this as a photo background because it's just fun. So, so I made croutons from a loaf of bread that I made last week. And I have to tell you, that loaf of bread that I made last week was almost one of my favorites. It was a Parmesan and everything bagel seasoning loaf. It was so good. My daughter came back for like, she ate two whole slices and sliced them in half, and normally she doesn't do that. So that was fun. So I made croutons out of that for the salad last night, and then I made crackers. And I'm gonna have to tell you though, I need to stop baking with parchment paper. Do you guys bake with parchment paper? I like baking cookies and baked goods with parchment paper, but when like I'm doing my sourdough crackers and things, the parchment paper, even with my sourdough, I need silicone. It gets too hot. And so it wants to stick. And then it kind of ruins the crackers. So because this is, the mica stain Frozen Fog is so light, I do a few spritzes. And then I'm going to spritz it in different sides because we're going to want to see a little bit more. And then I wanted to use the Wilted Violet from the Distress Spray as like the complementary. And I just want to do the drops. I don't think I'm going to get the spray out. I'm going to take a sip of my tea. So how is everybody's week? Was your week good? Was it creative? Was it stressful like mine? Mine just got super busy at work. Like, whoa. I'm on a regular schedule next week. As you can see, I have like, I have dust that's been like sprayed down, but it's okay. Oh no worries, because this sits on a little shelf where my cat always walks by, that's why. Okay, so what I'm gonna do for the splatters is I'm just going to get it out and splatter it, just like it sounds. I call it splatters. Some people may call it something else, whatever. Just kind of get real big and little splatters here. So it's just really, really random. But I hope you all had a great week. I hope you're having a good self-care day. I'm glad you're here joining me. And then that is our first faux doily that is finished. I'm gonna leave this. I'm gonna set this aside. I'm gonna try not to make a mess. I thought I had a, you know what? I thought I had like a piece of paper. I'm going to use one of my tea dyed papers to let it sit and dry on over here in front of the fan. And if we get drips on this, just all the better, because it'll be better for our creations. I'm going to set this next to me to where the fan's kind of hitting it. And then we're going to do probably 2 little ones, maybe at the same time. So if we get some overspray, it'll be a lot of fun. And once we make a few of these, we can maybe get out some card bases and start cutting up some card fronts. And then we'll look and see what the craft roulette parameters are. I actually did watch craft roulette on Friday at work because I was working until 7. So I just remember fruit or something. Do you guys watch craft roulette? Oh, look, I'm leaking everywhere. That's okay. I might not have. Well, the mess we make in the craft room. I might not have. I used this yesterday, and I don't think this one needs to be mixed up as much, is what the thing is. Good thing I'm doing towels today. So I wash my crafty towels and I wash my house towels separately. So like my rags and stuff that I dust with and craft with. Oh, okay. So, and this will wash off your clothes if you get it, but if you want to wear a crafty apron, you know. Okay, so my hands are going to be nice and inky, and I'm not going to be mad at that. Okay, and so that's going to be a little bit dark. So that base color. And what I did, I'll show you what I'm trying to get a similar effect of what I did yesterday. So this is going to look just like, it should look very similar to like a fancy doily that maybe grandma or great grandma has crocheted. And then I always see them in the thrift store and I'm like, oh, they didn't keep those. Those were so cute. And me and my daughter will go save those. So we have them throughout the house for different things. And because it just adds a little bit of fun, right? Fun, comfort, decoration to the home. And I grew up with my great grandma, my mom's grandma that she grew up with, had made crocheted doilies, like the fancy ones that were like very thin and intricate around the side, and then like very tightly crocheted or knit. I don't even know if they were knitted or crocheted, to be honest with you, because I don't do either one of those things. But I grew up with those in my house. My mom loved them. And so every time I see those at the thrift store, I'm like, oh, somebody couldn't keep them and nobody in the family wanted those, or I don't know. It's probably a whole different scenario than what is in my head. But, you know, when we're out thrifting or antiquing and stuff, you kind of come up with the, I wonder how this got here. How was this created? Okay, and so you can layer these up a little bit. Like I got this one pretty wet. I'm not mad at these colors though. I think it's pretty grungy, pretty vintagey. I like it. What do you guys think? Like, is this something you would do for a faux February? I'm gonna have to wipe off my splats. My splat aim is really off, so it's okay. That's why I love the glass mat that's under here, and that's why I love this mat too. This is a Ranger mat. It's meant for like painting and things like that. It cleans like a dream. So, I think though, let's see. There we go. Jen, welcome, welcome. I didn't see you come in. Thank you for joining. So if you're joining and not saying hi, hello to all of the quiet observers over there, I'm glad you're here. Okay, so this is where we can kind of decide. Do we want to layer it up a little bit more? Or do we just want to set them aside to dry? I like it. I like the way that it turned out. I think it'll be very complimentary with this. I want to maybe incorporate a little bit of red in here because I like this red and gold together. Maybe some greens because we know red and green are complementary on the color wheel. And if we don't, I'll show you. No worries. This is not a color class. And I only took art my senior year to get a passing grade in something, to be honest with you. Never figured in a million years I would go beyond high school. And I did. So I never thought I would go into my master's program in my 40s, but here I am. You know, never say never for anything. Okay. So, because I wanted to kind of use this Be Happy Once Upon a Time kit, I forgot the name. I want to use this as the inspiration. So I kind of want to play off on these colors. I really like the green, red, and the gold together, and it has a little bit of pink mixed in. I think that that is really cute. If it's on the color wheel or not, who knows, right? But let's look. So we have red, and complementary, directly complementary is green. So yellow, which could be in the gold family, would be also like a triad complementary. Blue would be the triad. Blue green would be the complementary, or yellow green. There is really no pink on here, but pink and red are in the same color family, so I think we're going to make it work because I really am using this as the inspiration for the kit. So we'll just do a few more of these. So we have the red, the green, the gold, and a little bit of the pink in the flower. So I want to do just a few more of those. Let's do a big one. Why not, right? And then you could basically like masterboard these faux. I'm going to put this way. You can masterboard these big faux crochet doilies as well. And what I mean by that is like make a big one. I'll get the other big one and I'll show you. They do kind of come stuck together, but this is the biggest one that it comes on. See, so for like dessert plates. And, oh, do you crochet the doilies, Christina? Props to anybody that can crochet. I tried to teach myself how to crochet when I had foot reconstruction surgery a few years ago, right before COVID, and I cannot get a straight line. But anyway, so if you wanted to masterboard these, you could just create like a big faux doily and then cut it up, use it as ephemera, however you want to do that. So that's kind of the thought that we have here. And we wanted to do the red, the green. So we have, I'm going to use probably Sunshine as my gold. Red, it's my red over here. I have another mica stain, which is a Yuletide. That might be my only red. I try not to pile up on, oh, candied apple, perfect. And then green. I try not to pile up on hoarding my distress stains because I have limited space. Like this is what I like my distress stains to be in, and I don't use them as often as like I use paper. I have enough paper for a lifetime. Like that's not, you know, no qualms about that. But and I have a whole a little vanity bathroom rack I got at an antique store years ago, and I have all my paints in there. See, salvage patina is really cute. Let's go into my greens. So I've been kind of debating Merry Mint. I think that's the only green I have. So a lot of these are going to be sparkly. So I might want to replace my shimmer spray with the Distress Oxide, which is the honey, right? And that can kind of be the gold. So I'm going to do these because then the Merry Mint is going to be the sparkly one. But I've been kind of debating, like, do I need to go to Five Below and buy that really pretty little vanity shelf? Tell me I don't need to, and then I, you know, I just need somebody to tell me no, is all I need. But I've been seeing that a lot on TikTok and stuff, and I have a few Five Belows by me. I've not gone on purpose because I was like, you know, I don't really need that. But if I got it, I could get more of these. I mean, there is that. So we're gonna make red be a little, like red and green kind of be the star of the show for this one. Oh, is knitting easier than crocheting? Yeah, teaching yourself, I think. I taught myself how to sew, and I just recently got my sewing machine up near me, set up. I just need to thread it and get the bobbin going. That's going to be a really, really bright red, so we're going to try not to spray that too close. So I'm going to use that as kind of the background, the base layer, if you will. And I'll work on cleaning my hands later. I'll just have a towel on my lap for now. And since green is directly the complementary color of red, I normally am not this finicky about my color wheel, just to be honest. But I want my base layers to be the most complementary. Like I said, I don't want to make mud. I don't wipe these off when I'm done. I'm a bad distressed stray owner. Yeah, I said that right, I think. You're supposed to wipe them off so they don't clog up. So we'll just kind of do that for now. And then we'll use the wild honey. I can either spray it or I can splat it. Oh, Jen, you're in the UK. What time is it for you? I know you're like very far ahead of time. I'm West Coast time because I'm in California, Southern California. But I did post that I was going live on my Instagram yesterday. So if you follow me on Instagram, I am most active over there on Instagram. I'm trying to do better to be more active with my posts and things here on YouTube. I'm on TikTok a few times a week, not a whole lot to like get a following or you know, be like a TikTok creator, but more I get a lot of ideas. I have friends over there. It's fun to see what everybody's doing sometimes in real time, and you know, the reels that you can create, you can kind of see how everything moves and goes. I might need to do another little spritz with this. I'm going to set this aside because we can layer these up however we want. Let's see. Oops, sorry, my head bumped the camera. We have a few really small ones. I don't think I've done the small ones yet. Oh, I might have. Maybe not. Yeah, I think I did. I think I did 2 of them, didn't I? Okay. No worries, no worries. Okay, so now what we're going to do is I'm going to try to separate them because they do stick together unless if this is separated. Feels like, yeah, that's like 2 there because they're thin. It's like 2 of them are together. Okay, I'm going to bring in the shimmer spray. Oh, I wanted to bring in a pink too, didn't I? Let's do that while I'm here. The pink. Let's get out the pinks, right? I'm glad you guys like it. This is a lot of fun. If you are like having like a creative block, or if you don't want to create a project from beginning to end, you don't have to. You could just go in your craft room and play. I have my pinks and my oranges. I didn't color code those very well, did I? So I have Cocktail Party, I have Bubblegum Pink, or I have Kiddish Flamingo. I want to, because to me, it's like the pink flower in here is a little bit shimmery, so that's what I want to go with, and I think I'm going to go with the mica stain, which is the Cocktail Party, which is always a good time. Okay. And this is the only red basically that I have other than like my pinks. I'm going to go more sparing on the red because these are going to be so close together. Let's see. Okay. And it almost looks like an orange, which is fine. Yeah, that's what I thought. I could take pictures of these and post them in the Be Happy Stationery group on Facebook for Faux February. And when this video, after we end, when it decides to load, normally it takes the rest of the day to load. And then I can tag people and, you know, do all of the hashtags and things like that. I can do that the next day. So it'll probably be tomorrow, but I'll take pictures of these today, and they'll be able to go in the Facebook group, so you guys can get like a fun like idea. So we'll just push off the book, the Michael's book journal that I got out of their journal kit. We'll push that off until next week, because I started creating these yesterday for my, this might look a little bit red, huh? I might have to mix a brighter pink in with it. For my 13 Love Letters journal. And I thought this is perfect for Faux February. And I haven't been doing enough with Faux February because, like I said, February's really gotten away from me. You know. "2026 has been an interesting year." That's all I have to say. Okay, so I'm going to just do more splatter so we get like a brighter pink in here. Honestly, the Delusions one from Diane Reilly, and the smaller bottles too, because that was just this bottle, since they're a little bit more curved, they're easier to do the splats with than these, because this is curved still, but it's longer. Okay, so we're just going to kind of leave that. See how you like it. I am gonna go, it's a fun little, Christina, Faux February is a fun creative inspiration in the Facebook group for Be Happy Stationery. I'm gonna go find it right now and link you, and you can join and see all of the inspiration. Personal Facebook, and I have a look. It might be on my... Christina, do you know the name of her group? I'm gonna go set these aside. Not Christina, Jen. I'm sorry. I asked the wrong person. Okay, I'm gonna go set these aside. I'm gonna bring in the big one and maybe layer it up just a little bit more. I live in a fairly dry climate, so it doesn't take too long. Thank you. I'll try to find it before I leave today. I think I'm logged on, because I'm logged on to so much glitter. I'm not logged on to Carrie on Facebook. So that's where I think, oh, I think I found it. I think I found it. Okay. There we go. I hope that helps. If that's the wrong one, let me know. Okay, so do we want to layer this up a little bit more? I think we do. I do. So I'm just going to kind of do just another layer over here. And just spray over what I already did. That's all I'm doing. And then we just get more of a richer color palette. And we can see like where else do we want to add colors, splats, whatever it is. Yeah, a lot of people are on there on the Facebook group doing like faux washi tape. I was supposed to do a video for faux washi tape, and I'll be darned if I forgot. Like, I didn't write it down, and I don't know. So I'll still probably do a little short of faux washi tape video, so watch that to come out this week. So if you want to subscribe and turn on the notifications. I'm trying to get a splat over there, and it's not working. There we go. Okay, so this one's probably going to take a little bit longer to dry, which is going to be okay. I'm going to leave it at that and kind of set these aside for now, and then we're going to start to cut up some of the kit. But see, this came with a lot, and this was under $10. I don't know how much it was, to be honest with you. But it's on Amazon. Okay, so we have, and oranges need to stay with oranges. We'll do pink and reds really quickly. If I don't clean up, sometimes it's just never gonna happen. So let's move this over here. And I'm gonna go get some card bases right behind me. It's okay, I figured, yeah, it's hard to find. But when I realized, oh, I'm on my wrong profile to even go look for it. Okay, so I have card bases in a box right behind me, across the room. And I have a lot of 5x7s, I have A2s. Let's see what we want to do. I don't know. I'm kind of leaning towards 5x7, to be honest, but let's get out an A2. And only because I'm like loving, but I did do these in landscape, so it might make it a little more difficult to do. I guess not, huh? The 5x7 I was gonna say, but I don't want to cut up too much of like the faces and things like that. Like, I want to get as much as I can on here is what I want to do. So what I'm gonna do is, so to speak, kill two birds with one stone. I'm gonna get out my phone. I am going to move my video. It wants to go right to Amazon. Want to log in on Craft Roulette. I'm a member, so I want to do a member login. I had it save the passwords. And yeah, when you have multiple profiles, it kind of makes it a little bit tricky. It's okay, Christina, I'm here for you. Okay, so we have this is the right one. Okay, I was thinking this was last week's for some reason. I was like, I don't remember that. Oh, it's a mini slimline. The colors, the project is a mini slimline. The colors are fungi. The element is fruit. The random is two-toned. Okay, so I don't know if I'm going to be creating a mini slimline today. Oops. I don't want to do a split screen. Maybe I do. I did a split screen on accident. I don't want to do that. I don't know what to do. Let's go back. It just wants to do a split screen. So I accidentally pressed something wrong, but it's okay. Okay, I'll adjust the chat to myself, no worries. Okay, so let's see what we have to play with here. I think if we're gonna do a mini slimline, this would be better because then we're not cutting everybody out, but I'm not sure that that's what I'm doing today either. I like these two, I think, for card fronts right now, I think. And then we can embellish it, the card. We can like layer up some elements. Oh, this would be good too for like just a good background. This is a great junk journaling kit, actually. See, we have the cute face, just so cute. Perfect page. If you just wanted to fold this in half and create a journal page out of that, perfect. Love it. Okay. Where did my girl go that I wanted? I've gotten everything all mixed up here. These two, I want to do card fronts out of these two, and then I want to use the doily. I'm assuming my craft roulette card is going to, I'm trying to fix the split screen thing that I did. I don't know why I did that. Honestly, I don't know how I did that. I don't know. I'm going to concentrate on my 2 5x7s. That's what I want to do now because I want to feature more of the artwork from the kit than fuss with the mini slimline, which I will do later this week in probably a different video. Okay, I'm hitting everything. Sorry, apologies. Let's set stuff aside. Okay, so we have a 5x7. Do I want to do a border or not? I probably do. And then we have 5x7. Make sure it opens correctly. I'm only saying that for myself. Oops, looks, I've made a mess. It's okay. I think it's because I didn't wipe up. Yeah, because I didn't wipe this up. Maybe I should wipe things up before I move along. What do we think? Okay. Because this is microfiber, the water, it's this, the water beads up on this pad, so when it's microfiber, I have to make sure I get it up get the water up all of the way. So microfiber's kind of moving it. Okay, there we go. If I didn't get such a glare, I could just use my glass mat, but I get too big of a glare, and it's a little bit annoying on the camera. Okay. So let's do 5. See, this trimmer is really made for an A2 card maker because it's 5.5 and 4 1/4. That's where it does the whole dotted line, but it's okay. Now we're cutting off like some of her face, aren't we? I want to try to cut off. I want to get as much of her face as I can. So I'm just going to be wonky for a minute, and that's the way that it's going to be. Okay, and then we want to do the 7, which me and the new paper trimmer are still getting to know each other. So my measurements still might be a little bit off. I miss my other paper trimmer. I have it over here, but it's the We Are one. I cannot find blades for that thing. I ordered blades on Amazon. They're the wrong ones, so I don't know if they've discontinued them. They sell, that's just the whole card front. Look at how beautiful she is. But we want to layer her up a little bit too. I do want to do a little bit of a border. So I'm gonna go, if we had another line here, that would be perfect, but we don't. So I'm gonna go about that's not even an eighth. About an eighth of an inch. 7. What am I doing? We're not 5 on both sides. I'm gonna try to give us a little bit of a border here. Okay. So we have just a little bit of a border. And if you're not like a measuring whiz like myself, you can really just put it on the project and see kind of where you want the border. That's just a tad of a border. I like it. I'm gonna leave it like that. I'm glad you're excited. Oh, tea garden sounds lovely. I would love to see it. I would love to see what you create. Do you have a channel, Christina? Do I follow you? I don't know. I try to follow everybody who follows me and who's supportive, and I love getting inspiration from everybody. Okay, so let's get we got some splatter over here. Not going to be mad about it. I have two pieces of ephemera that I want to work with here. I love the tickets. A lot of these are for a journal, which is perfectly fine. There's no worries with that. I think I probably just want to do the doily with her, but we'll see. I wanted to kind of layer her up just a little bit. What I could do is cut this down and she could kind of, let's do that. I'm brainstorming an idea. Okay, I'll make sure to follow you. I'll find you, I'll follow you. Is your name the same on YouTube as it is here? You can drop your link if you want, so we can all kind of follow you and support each other. I think that's really important. I'm not on here like trying to make an income. I'm just on here trying to like support my mental health, others' mental health, self-care. I love the crafty community. And I'm going to cut these off. Actually, if I'm going to put the doily on here, an actual doily, I don't need the picture of the doily. So I'm just kind of chopping this down to how I want to use it. Right? We could, because this is directional, this is pretty directional. I was going to be like, we could put it upside down. We can't really. We're going to lose a little bit of that flower, and I love that flower, but the flower is going to be peeking out. And let me go get a small doily to see if they're dry. So here's what we have. I really feel like I created more, but it's okay. This would be fun. I may not. I was just like, I want to stick a doily out of here, but you know what? I'm kind of pivoting right now. I think what I want to do is kind of trim this doily down and put it in the different corners of the card, and so we really focus on the princess's face, right? Oh, maybe, yeah. I did do the streamathon as well. That's probably how we found each other. Thanks for sharing. Okay. This isn't like perfectly dry. Oh. Actually, it's pretty dry. Okay, so I'm gonna get my pencil and then I'm just gonna mark right here. Oh, I don't know if the pencil's gonna be good enough. I'm not gonna be able to see. Okay. that's just kind of where I want to cut. Just kind of maybe trim it from the back, which will be a little bit easier for me. Okay. So then I'm just going to cut it like that. See how we can just kind of like masterboard these fun doilies? And like a little slice of goodness up in the corner. And you could even use the back of these because see, you even get an effect on the back. It's just up to you how you want to do that. What I could do is I could trim this a little bit more, or we could do opposite ends. I really like the stars though, so I don't want to, let's go like this. We'll just kind of make it a little bit funky, right? I want to get as much of the design as I can. And I might be doing that wrong. Wait a minute. Okay, that's good. I felt like I was doing that wrong. I was like, no, that has to be wrong. But, and then we can just kind of glue this right here. We can get some embellishments if we want. We can trim this down just a little bit, use it as like a tag. So then we have our whole power of 3 thing going with the design elements and odds kind of, you know, are more aesthetically pleasing to the eye. If that's kind of what you're into. If not, no worries. Sometimes my eye does not like things. That's better. That's better for me. Sometimes my eye does not like things in odds. It likes things in evens. Okay. Tuesday nights, 7 to 10 Central Standard Time. I'm gonna have to remember that. Sometimes I need a Tuesday break, right? I think Central Standard Time, you are 2 hours ahead of me. And then I'm here every Sunday at 11. And I've really been trying to do one edited video, if you will, during the week. I haven't been great at it. It just kind of depends on how my week's gonna go with work, and if I'm gonna be late, if I'm gonna be early. If I'm the early bird, it's way easier. So I'm gonna be the regular person this week, so I will be able to film another video. I don't tend to batch film my videos, which I probably should, but I have a lot going on in one day for myself that I don't want to take a whole day just to film videos. Like, I don't know if that makes sense. I'm just going to put the glue right here on the paper because the doily is so intricate. And glue this down. And then we're going to be able to play with the fun ephemera for the inside of the card. And if you're real finicky about like your hands getting messy in the craft room, like I am with the outdoors, you could wear gloves because my hands will be stained now probably for the rest of the day till I take my shower tonight to get ready for work. I'll try to wash them off as much as I can, but you know, I'm not baking or anything today. My daughter's been gone all weekend on a little outing out of town with her boyfriend and his family for a celebration, so I've not been doing any cooking. She normally cooks a lot for me, so last cooking I did was last night for my son and his family. Craft more and edit less. Yes, exactly. That's exactly what it is. Craft more, edit less. I'm not great at editing either. Sometimes I'm just like, well, let's turn it on, press record, and we'll get a thumbnail and some music in here and it'll be great, right? It's okay. Okay. Do you make out of the if you don't do digital kits, it's just think in terms of like a paper pack. Do you make more journals or cards out of any digital kits or paper packs that you print or buy? Or do you do like a combination of them both? Okay, so I'm going to try to get my head's going to be in here a little bit. This is why I use the wet glue. I'm really going to have to stand up, I think. So try to get it as straight as I can, and there it was not straight, but that's okay. Okay, I had to stand up to look at it because I have to look at things head on. Okay. There we go. If you want to seal this with anything, you can. I have like a Kamar finish spray or any sort of like hairspray, any sort of fixative. You can do that because it might get a little bit, like it might rub off. I do have hairspray next to me, which let me get that. I have a Kamar spray as well, or I think it's Kamar finishing spray or something, or fixative. I have a Mod Podge one too. I got this at Dollar Tree, and it's for if I watercolor or do anything like this. I can just spray, and it'll seal it, basically. Okay, so we could do a oh, we could. Well, I kind of already cut off this pocket to not be used as a pocket, but we could still do that. It would be fun to, I think, do her as a pocket, and maybe we could slip a gift card in there or something if we wanted to. I think it really goes with that. This would be very pretty. I'm not going to put a sentiment in my card because I don't do that until I know where the card is going. That's just how I am. But if you're like batch making cards for your stash and you want to do a sentiment, you can. Do you guys make cards or are you strictly journal girlies? I like doing both. So then my creative energy goes in all directions because I get lots of ideas. So I think it's fun. Okay, and my own little personal trick is to take my bone folder. I do not even use my scoreboard, just my bone folder, and try to make one straight line on the seam where I need to fold it. You see the artist already put like the little seam right there. I do that just to give me a little bit of a direction. It kind of breaks down the fibers of the paper so we can manipulate it a little bit easier and fold it. That's just something I've learned, but you can just fold it if you want, but this is easier for me. Group activities are a lot of fun, right? Because prompts are fun. I actually did purchase a card deck at the thrift store yesterday, but it was like in the kids section, and it was rainy day activities, and I thought these would be perfect for journals or card prompts or journal prompts or whatever. But I made my own 12 Days of Christmas, if you want to go check that out on my channel, out of a deck of cards with prompts. They are Christmas themed in decoration, but the prompt doesn't have to be Christmas. So we can just kind of put this in here so we can slip in a gift card or whatever. I don't have a gift card with me, so I'm just gonna fold up a piece of paper. I don't know if a gift card would be that thick, but we're just gonna kind of glue it around that. And then you just really have to glue on the folded side. And I use the PVA, the bookbinding glue. So once you have wiggle room with the wet glue, you have time to adjust and move and do what you need to do. But once this is dry and down, like you only have like a few seconds to move things. It stays really well. See, so now we've kind of already created that space. Cards are fun. I love making cards. Okay. I am probably going to ink up inside just a little bit. I want to use a little bit of the Am I done with that doily? Like, we did well, huh? We chopped up the doily pretty good. Oh, no, here. I was like, am I done with the doily? I want to use a little bit more of that doily. And I'm just going to decorate with the doily right here. If we want to get very like junk journal-y about it, we could leave this as like a tuck spot and you can slip in a note. We could do that. I did borderless printing here. I think. Oh, maybe I didn't. Because it kind of cut it off. It's okay. But we could slip that up there, and then there's a gift card here. Whatever you want. But I'm just going to put this down for decoration. And then get as much glue in here as I can. But like you could leave it for a tuck spot. But you can really see how the faux doilies really can be incorporated into any project. These could be for junk journals. These could be for cards. Put them on your master board. Just make a bunch of these and like glue it on your master board if you want. And then you chop up the master board. But if we're gluing it on the master board, we're going to make sure we're gluing it down all of the way. So we don't run into it lifting. And that's where I might recommend like the fixative as well, so no bits and pieces get caught. I love steampunk junk journals and cards. I have a few steampunk kits. I know Be Happy has one. Okay, so that's probably going to be the inside of the card. Here's the outside of the card, and then all we have to do is stamp it with our personalized stamp. And I happen to have one right here. I also have this one that my daughter got me last Easter in my Easter basket. Yes, we still do that. And I stamp a lot of her cards with that. It's a lot of fun. Or cards that I make for her and her friends. I like just making cards, and then I'll give quite a few cards away. Like my mom, a few years ago, I made my mom a card box, and it's a similar box to what I keep my card bases in. So it's a box just like this, but I think hers was a little bit taller. I got these at Michael's one year when they were on clearance. And I gave her cards for every season and every occasion, and then a bunch of blank cards. And so ever since then, every year, that's one of her gifts, just a bunch of new cards. And then she can add it to that card box. I need to rinse off my hands just a little bit because I'm going to start contaminating everything. And I have another towel over here that's clean. It doesn't look clean, but it is. I've washed it. There's glue on it and all of that, but I'm going to try to get to where I'm not like contaminating things around me. Okay. So this is the first card. And I'm just going to end it by, I'm not ending the live, I'm going to end this card by, I'm just going to spray a little bit of the fixative on it. It's hairspray. No worries. It will run, so be careful. So I'm going to set this aside and I'm going to set something in here. I happen to have these on my desk that a coworker got me like 2 years ago for my birthday. So I'm just going to leave that there. And then let's create the next card. What do you say? Swan Selective actually smells pretty good. I was hoping to find Aquanut actually at the Dollar Tree when I went looking for those, because I was doing a lot of watercoloring and like a lot of inking like this. But I didn't find it. You would think that the Dollar Tree would have Aquanut, right? Oh, I love the whole Easter baskets, and yeah, it's fun to celebrate all that kind of stuff. Just gotta celebrate. Who cares about what people will think and if we're too old? No. Although my grandson is almost 2, and we figured out, because we go all out for Christmas for everybody, right? Just everybody gets something, right? We have a budget for you, and give us a list, and we'll do our best. And then my only stipulation with my family is, let me do what I want with the stockings, please. Let me do what I want with the stockings. You guys can have the budget, fine, I don't mind. But we realized, adding 2 more family members, that's kind of a lot. And my mom comes here and stays here from Washington State every Christmas for a week. And I was like, oh, because I downsized homes since I got divorced, which I'm perfectly happy with. Let's just be honest. I love it. It's my sanctuary. I ordered a sign about it today. But we were like, we really need to draw names. We need to draw names, and there's no limit on my baby, right? So we're going to do that next year. And I said, I'll be willing to draw names with you guys if you still let me do what I want with the stockings, right? Can we do that? And then they said, yep, deal. And then my daughter even introduced the idea of playing a white elephant game, which having a budget for that too, so everybody gets a few gifts and we have a fun game for the adults too. So I think we'll be doing that. Honestly, I did my whole color scheme around this. So let me trim this down. I want to use this, but I'm not sure I want to use it on this card. So we might be making another card as well, because I was just thinking. So if you want to scan her QR code, it's going to be right there. Because he's picking fruit, and that's what made me think of the apples. And I kind of wanted to get that. I still wanted to get the lace in here. So we could do colorful, we could do this. Oh, I like that a little bit. What do you guys think? I don't know if you can see. Am I too far away for you? These are dry too already, so that's really nice. It's actually been nice springtime weather. Last week was torrential downpour with like hurricane winds, flooding, and now we're like springtime, and I think it's going to be pretty warm this week. So we have, I could do the yellow, like the gold and the purple, or we could do the green and the red and the pink. What do you guys think? I'm going to take a sip of my water. My tea's gotten too cold right now for it to be enjoyable. But I want to add this too. And I just want something kind of up in the corner, I think. I'm going to go with this. That's what my instinct is telling me. Because because I think it'll be cute, because that color scheme I kind of did for this. So kind of did those two color schemes for this. And then I'll do him like that. All right. And this is just a fun little, to do a pocket in the front. Not real traditional, I get it, but just like a fun little element, a fun little design element. We could stick a tag in there. It would just be fun, right? We could make that tag a bookmark if we wanted. So let's do that. Okay. So I want this side, and I want to make my markings on the back. And just want to continue to cut down here so I can feel the outline of the card. And let's get my scissors. Cut this. Just cut that. You see, it's just like a little slice of pie right there. It's right up in the corner. That curled a little bit because it was wet, so it's okay. I'll just have to glue it down. We're gonna put this right here. If you can see me, I feel like I'm all over the place now. I'm crafting myself out of space is what I'm doing. Put this up here. Let's move this. Okay. Set this aside. We want to do like a little fun tag. I just think it would be fun with the little boys. Maybe this could be for Prince's little birthday, or I don't know. Let's get a little bit of, this is cute too, this little pocket. Let's get a little bit of contrast going on our card for fun. And we will do this little prince. And I'm just realizing I said I wanted to ink up that other card, and I didn't really do that. I might have to ink up the inside of it a little bit. I don't like a whole lot of white space. I don't like big fat white borders. I don't like a whole lot of white space, but I do like it to frame in. Thank you for joining. Have a great day, Jen. Sleep well. And we'll just slide this in and out. I'm gonna get out my crocodile. I need to move my inks because it's in the way. And we will here is my crocodile. I always call these grommets. I think these are eyelets, and this is like an eyelet setter. My lingo's always wrong, so we could get any color we want. I probably need to order more of these. We could do a fun white, actually. I mean, that would be, you know, kind of frame it all up. We could see these spilt in here. Or we could do like a black. I like the white a little bit because I think, aren't we supposed to be having a little bit of a border? That was the plan, right? Jen, I'll definitely see you next time. Okay. Let's see. I always use the bigger one. The bigger side. And let's see. And then I just put this in here. And, oops, as I get it right out. I'm just going to make sure it gets in both of them, crimp it down, and there we go. You can slide anything through there. think I have a little bit of thread next to me. I could slide through there when I want to. So let's glue this down and maybe get that out. And hold our finger on the pocket that where we don't want glue. Right? Okay, my on-call phone has not rung, so we're doing good. I have really good staff working today, so I'm really excited about that. Okay, what I'm gonna do, where did my pencil go? I went to go reach for it and it's gone. Oh well, I'll have to find it later. I'm just gonna mark it with my finger. I'd rather put the glue on the paper than all of the little itty bitty spots and then kind of wipe that up. To me, that would be easier. I know my pencil's around here somewhere. It's fine. Okay. There we go. I may have not gotten the glue all the way over here. That's okay. This is the bigger spot anyway. I could put glue right here. I just didn't want to put glue on on all the little bitty spots. There we go. I like to decorate the card front before I put the card on here. I'm gonna flip this around because I got all of my ink on it. I'm gonna go get that thread that I have right next to me and I'm gonna thread it through and just tie like a little knot right there so it can be a bookmark for whoever the recipient is. And I have this thread. That I purchased, I don't know where, honestly, and I've never opened it. So let's use my sticky scissors. I think I got these at Michael's. I'm not sure. Because I like doing the whole like junk journal jewelry thing and charms and stuff. So I have like a lot of beads and threads. I just haven't like taken a bunch of time to do that. So I want to do like a fun color. I think maybe gold. Oh, maybe darker. And this is just like standard craft cord, like you make friendship bracelets out of or whatever. Oh, actually red, if there's red on, let's do red, right? So then if the recipient is gonna use it out, if the recipient is gonna use it as a bookmark, they don't lose their bookmark. Okay, so I'm just gonna take this all out because this is how I do it. Why not? I'm going to get my ribbon cutting scissors. Might even be able to do it 3 times and then it will be like a little bit fringy. We'll see. Oops. Okay. And I'm not like an expert at this, at doing all the threading and the tying of the knots and all of that. Not by any means. So I just kind of do it the way that it's going to be easiest for me. I don't know if this is going to fit through. It should though. There we go. And I'm just going to tie like a knot like I would for, and I'm going to double it like I would for the journals. But I tend to have fumbly fingers. Okay. I'm just gonna kind of cut it off there. I'm not gonna burn the edges off or anything. Like, I'm not really gonna worry about that. So there we have like a little bookmark, right? With that in mind, maybe we want to give them a gift card to purchase a book. Now I have thread falling everywhere. Just to be expected, right? So maybe this is where we want to put this little holder in place for the gift card. I think this kit is UK sizes. And I had 8.5 by 11 piece of paper. I think that's why some of this printed a little bit crooked. I may have not paid attention to that, and that's user error, so don't get discouraged by that. But now I'm just going to do my little tricky trick where I break down the fibers of the paper so I can fold it easier. And we'll be able to fold it and then hopefully get like a gift card in there. This might be a little bit too small because of my sizing on the paper, but I'm just gonna go ahead and go with it. And then I will stick something like a folded piece of paper, I'll stick in there. And I bumped the camera again. I wanted to be able to get close enough to where you could see what I was doing and not focus on like the global mess around me, because sometimes I know when I watch creators, it distracts me. I either get too close or too far away. Like I don't have a happy in between yet. And then I'm just going to, my glue tip is a little bit clogged, but that's okay. Put the glue, and I had a little folded piece of paper. Here we go. Wipe off all of the paint from the spray. And if you're just now joining us and wondering what the faux part of the February is, I created some faux doilies that we're playing with to create the cards. So if you go back and watch, you can kind of see that process. And I added some fun links in there so you could, if you were interested in the kit from Be Happy Stationery and wanted to join in on her Faux February challenge on Facebook. Okay, I don't think that I want to do this whole thing. Let's just cut this right in half. That's the way we're going to do it. And how I'm going to try to attempt to do a straight cut is just fold this in half. So this is going to be straight adjacent. There we go. Like a little slice of pie right there again. And then the gift card will be in here. And then our message and whatever will be there as well. So that's 2 cards. Let's create one more. I think we have a little bit of time. Hope you're all having a great day. Thank you for joining me. And if you've stuck with me this long, props to you. And I hope you're getting creative inspiration. So don't forget to turn on the notifications so you'll be notified when I go live every Sunday at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And when I put new videos out, I'm trying to do 1 a week. Schedule pending. And I am going to go ahead and just add some fixative on. Are you kidding me? Oh, I was like, no, I glued the wrong side. I forgot I hadn't glued this down yet. Oh my goodness, that scared me. Do you ever glue the wrong side of your card front on the card base? Have you ever done that? I have. That's why I was like, oh no, not again. I've done it upside down. I've done it backwards. I've done the outside on the inside. Yeah, it's all a journey. I used to throw stuff like that away I need to refill my glue. I used to throw stuff like that away. I don't anymore. I just kind of make it part of the process, maybe put it in like a junk journal. Yeah. All good. So this isn't going to be perfectly even, but it's okay. Yeah, let's just do this. Okay. Here's my fancy dancy fix-it-up. And it's just so the glitter and the paint doesn't come off. Okay, and it will get it wet. It will, like if you're doing watercolors or whatever, it will like reactivate it. See, it's fine. That I'm okay with. And I'm going to prop it up with something else in between. I have the other card that we're doing the same thing for, so I'm just going to kind of put that next to it. Let's make one more card because I really did this color scheme for this, and I might want to put this in the middle. I think that that's really cute. We're kind of on the 5x7 bandwagon here for this kit. And let's, what do we have here? Before I get another card base out. Or we have this one, that's right. Okay. So instead of cutting into a whole new sheet of paper, we have this or this. I kind of like this, but this would be good with the colors we have. Let me get my card base out. And set this aside. This will just go in my ephemera. Don't throw anything away, especially if you're making junk journals. Okay. I think I like this better. It's a little bit less busy. Actually, this goes better inside of here, I believe. I'm kind of believing that at this moment. If that's true or not, that's a whole different scenario. Circles are the hardest thing to cut. Do you guys have a hack for cutting circles? A punch is always a really good hack, but I am not a collector of the punches as much anymore because I don't use them as much anymore. The only hack I have is I'm going to ink up around this to cover up my imperfections and try to let the scissors kind of glide across the paper and try to do the least amount of cuts as possible. Do you guys like have a stencil you trace? Like, I don't know. It gets kind of like you just got to think of something, right? Here it is, it's hiding. My brush, my blender brush. I hope you guys are liking our little creative session today. Getting some good ideas, learning new things. I enjoy watching all of you guys too, and we can kind of learn from each other and inspire each other. I think it's fun. Oh, we don't want to lose that. The mess I've made, right? Okay. So this is where my idea is right now. But I could do that one as well. I like this colors better because more of the splatters with the pink, where I got the inspiration from here, is from here. And that could just be the front of the card. Like that could be like a win-win, right? I'm gonna all set these all next to each other. And then we'll kind of go over that before we leave. I think this is gonna be like the perfect trim. A protractor, that's what I was thinking of. Okay, that's the word I was thinking of. Oh, look, I found my pencil. It's up here. Yeah, it is a thing. It's a thing. Okay, so let's just try to, I think this might already be a perfect little scrap of paper for us. We have 7. We have 7. We'll try to go just under 7 so we can get that. Just kind of get just a little bit of a border. I think we need to go a little bit more. Try to move it. There we go. It's funny because when I first saw this and they printed out, I was like, gold rings, that's interesting. That's real fun, right? Yeah, it's not gold rings. I mean, I guess it could be, but it's just like a paint stroke across there. Yes, this is what I based this whole color scheme off of on this doily, is the pile of books. I love books. I'm a book girly. I'm kind of a book hoarder too. Book and paper. Love it all. I bought some, and I'm just going to put this on the front. This is going to be the front of the card. Real simple. I like it. I bought like a Christmas music book at the thrift store yesterday. I'll show all that stuff next week because I did leave it in the freezer longer than I anticipated. I left it in the sun yesterday, and then before I went to, or after the kids left, I was like, before I go to bed, I put it in the freezer, and then I was like, oh, I need to take it out of the freezer before I go to bed, and I completely forgot. And when I was switching the on-call phone this morning, I was like, you know what, I left that stuff in the freezer. So, oops. We could prop it up. I'm not going to because this is fine. It's real intricate, and I don't want it to peel off or break or anything. But you could pop it up. You could put some real like lace around it, but this is part of our faux February, is making that faux doily lace. So it can kind of look handcrafted. And I got that idea yesterday at the thrift store as well, because I almost bought a doily, like a big pink one that I really liked. And I was like, you know, that'd be really cute for background pictures and stuff for my projects and my cards, and it would just be cute. Or I could just have it in here. You know, I have like a lot of fun whimsy colors in here. But I was like, no, I have that faux doily at home. We could do more ink and you know, use what we have. Use what we have. We don't always have to purchase everything. Thank you for joining, Ellen. I'm glad you were here. Thank you. I hope to see you next week. We're just gonna glue this down and we're almost finished. Oh. I'm glad you loved it, Ellen. Thank you. Something fun. There's a Japanese word for the pile of books that pile up on the bedside tables. Oh, lovely. I'm gonna look that up. I see that you wrote the word. There's no way I could go about pronouncing that. I have a few books on my bedside table. I'm actually in between reading 3 books right now. So if my microphone, if the sound goes weird, it's because I was really close and then I moved. Sorry. Oops. Oh, I was like, oh no, I went over, but it's because I didn't fold my card. Perfect. It's okay. No worries. My card base. It's my card base. Okay, so there is this. Front of this card, we're going to put something. Actually, we could play up this color scheme a little bit more like we did with our other two cards and kind of make that there. I really like these tickets, like these little faux tickets. I'm going to use that. See, so we're really jamming with the Faux February challenge. I am not going to be able to cut this like it deserves to be cut, like the edges, the ruffly edges. So I'm just cutting straight. And then we will show the doilies. You could get like an X-Acto knife, which I have one, but I don't think it has a new blade in, so I'm going to ink it up. Because then we could just cut these out, but it's on a white base, so it's just going back down to a white thing. We could actually cut these apart, which is probably how they're meant to be, I just thought. And then we could glue them in a line, so. Definitely going to require some inking here for imperfections, but no worries, no worries. My cutter bee scissors might be a little bit better for this because they're smaller. So now are you guys going to be ready to conquer Faux February? Use your supplies. I hope you got some good ideas. And prepare for the week ahead, right? Okay, there we go. And then we're just going to trim this up. It's just like the fussy cutting that takes the most amount of time. But sometimes it's worth it. Because you can make things look fairly realistic and stand out on a card. There we go. So instead of getting in between all the cracks and the crevices with my ink, I'm just going to kind of touch it up here like this. And this will make it stand out a little bit more on the white paper as well. Like I said, I think it's important to have like a craft mat behind you that you're not afraid to get dirty. Like I'm clearly not afraid to get dirty. If we were outside playing in the dirt doing planting or something, I would not like that, but I'm funny that way. So however we want the tickets to go, honestly. Do we have room for 3? We don't really, do we? Let's see. Can we organize them in a little bit of a fun? That's like a, I don't know. Now they look like H's to me, so that's kind of weird. I was just thinking lining the bottom would be cute. Oops. There we go. There we go. It's kind of like line the bottom, right? And then I think I want to put this up here. So we could just put the whole thing right there if we wanted to, but I think I'm going to cut that up into there. And we're not doing any pockets, nothing fancy over here for this one. So we're just gluing it right down. And we'll try to glue them in as straight of a line as we can. Now, the apples are a little bit directional, but I'm not going to worry about that. And if your recipient worries, if they're fussy recipients, they're not on my list to give to like that. You can see where I cut that a little bit crooked, but I'm not going to be mad about that either. So there's that. We're not Hallmark, we're handmade. So that means that we made it with love, and we took time out thinking about you and put good intention to the card. If somebody can't appreciate that, then they maybe don't deserve the card, huh? Do I kind of want to do the whole thing? I a little bit do. And then we could just cut that off. Or maybe we put a picture there, something. Okay, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm not gonna sit here and fuss about it, because we've been here for 2 hours already. We are going to just cut this right down the middle. That's what we're doing. We don't really leave a whole lot of room for a message, but we do at the same time. What we could do, just like a journal, is leave this to be like a little tuck spot if we want. We do the best we can with the intricate part with the glue, right? Okay. There we go. There we go. We'll do our best with that. Okay. So I don't want my hands all gluey. You would be surprised. People do get judgy about stuff. I was part of the fun committee at my last program. And it was like party planning, and, you know, because I'm a card maker, and a girl that I worked with was like, oh, like, you know, I can help like plan the party and decorate the desks and coordinate like the potlucks, and you make the cards and have everybody sign it. Well, a person in our office, it was their birthday, and I made the card, and they did not appreciate a handmade card. And I was like, whoa, I'd never come across that before. And especially you're at work. Like, what? Just say thank you and move along. I don't know. So, yeah. People. But anybody that, like, I know that I personally given a card to hasn't done that. So, I don't know. People are amazing sometimes. Okay. Since these have like little pockets to like stick something in or a message. Notes. We're just kind of giving them a hint of hey, something's there. I'm gonna have to cut into the other one, but it's fine. Just kind of giving a hint of there's like an extra little surprise here. And that could be a gift card or whatever. Yeah, it was crazy. I was really thrown off by it. So I stopped doing handmade cards at work since then. And it's not even like they were like, it's ugly, it's rude, because it was like a really pretty card that I just had in my stash. It's like they were offended that the company didn't go out and buy them something, is what it was. So I was like, well, the company's not really sponsoring this. It's your coworkers because we wanted you to have a good day and we want this to be like a happy place to be. But okay. So yeah. That was a long time ago though. Okay. Well, maybe this is a better. We just kind of stick it in there, right? Okay, so what I kind of wanted to do with these cards, clean off my brush just a little bit. You don't have to do this. I like to do this. This is just a personal preference thing. I don't like all that extra white space. slip a note in. There we go. And I just dropped my fixative hairspray. I am going to spray this a little bit, and then we're going to kind of go over everything else. And leave that there for just a second. It'll take just a second to dry because I think these are dry. Let's get out. Let me set it over here because I will forget. Okay, so first we started with Faux February, right? The whole point of today was to play. Yeah. Anybody can buy anything sometimes, you know? There's no thought put into that. So that's why I like giving out handmade cards, because it's like this sometimes is the gift in itself. So we started out, we're Faux February, we created the faux doilies, and I did this with the distress spray. And I really like the antique look, and it looks like a knitted or crocheted doily that grandma made or somebody made, right? That we can appreciate that. This is gonna go in my stash. I like to fold these a lot and cover my pages of a journal with them. I do like to do that a lot. That's a lot of fun. Okay, so we have the first card that we created with our little princess and our faux doily. And I want to try to glue down as much of it as I can. And we have a fun little pocket here for a gift card or whatever. We stamped it. I did not, however, knock back some of this white space. You don't have to do this. Like I said, this is just a personal preference of mine. And it kind of plays up the vintage little elements of the doily too. So there we have our first card. Set that off to the side. We have our second card, which I did not stamp on, so we'll stamp on that. I cleaned off my stamp too, like I was done the first time. That's okay. And I like to use foam under my stamps. You can use any kind of foam. You can fold up the craft foam or whatever that you buy for $1 a sheet. Because it helps the stamp and the ink and the paper all make a better connection. You get a smoother stamp. So we created a little bookmark. You could write the recipient's name, the date, a fun little message, whatever. And then we have the inside, and again, we did a little pocket for a little gift. And this is, I also like doing this because this is a really good way to clean off your brushes. So we're not ink transferring from project to project, and we don't have to get out the water and the stamp cleaner and all that every single time. So, oh, I'm glad that you printed your kit, Christina. Now you can kind of see how it can fit together, and I can get some inspiration from you as well. Okay, let's go back to our last card, which I did not do the personalized stamp for yet either. And remember, these doilies, oh, wrong color. Wrong color, Carrie. These doilies will transfer, the ink will transfer, so that's why I use something as a fixative. I have a Mod Podge spray you could use. You could use Kamar finishing spray. You could use any kind of hairspray that's not going to get really wet and wrinkly on the paper. I recommend that though. Okay. So here we go with the last card with our pile of books that has a Japanese saying if it's on your bedside table. I love that. And we have, this is where our notes is gonna go in. Just gonna fit right in here. And I based all of these faux doily on this color scheme of the books. I like it. I think it turned out good. So we have our cards. We have our faux doilies that we created to finish up a faux February. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you guys have a great day. I hope you guys take time for some self-care during the week. We can't just live for the weekends. We kind of have to live for ourselves in the moment at the same time. Not just to get by, to get finished with something. I'm glad I could be here to inspire you. I hope you enjoy this project and this kit. If you want to do something like this, you could do something like this with any kit. But I hope that you get some inspiration and ideas for maybe something you already have in your stash. I will try to exit out of here with grace, but the way I have my phone and my holder, I can never do that. I'm still kind of perfecting or learning different things with YouTube. But I want you guys to have a fabulous weekend and make sure to practice self-care. Bye, guys.